This is a day in the life of a Twitch streamer. After trying out streaming on YouTube earlier this year, I decided that it was time for me to return home to Twitch. But since I was last on this platform, a lot has changed in my life. I decided to focus on making streamer lifestyle content for both YouTube and TikTok. My girlfriend began streaming on Twitch, and my live streams are more focused these days on hanging out with my community rather than just me grinding games. So this is what an average day now looks like for me. I like to begin my day by checking up on social media, just kind of seeing what everyone is up to in the streamer world, then checking my own social media accounts, like my analytics, my comments, just catching up with my community, saying what's up. And once I'm all caught up with that, I like to shift my focus on over to editing some short form content for TikTok and YouTube Shorts. For example, I have a ton of footage from my last couple of streams that I need to go through to either find a good just chatting moment or maybe some sick gameplay clips. Oh yeah, I recently got this M1 Pro MacBook and it has been an absolute game changer for me. I personally use Final Cut Pro for editing my videos and it is so well optimized with Apple Silicon devices. It makes editing an absolute breeze. Anyway, I've been focusing a lot more on making short form content lately because it's just been blowing up like crazy for me throughout these last couple of months, so it's definitely a high priority of mine. The hardest part of being a streamer is breaking through the millions of other streamers to try and get discovered. So it quickly turns into a never-ending grind of not only trying to make our streams more entertaining, but also editing more and more videos, brainstorming ideas, trying to keep up with your community, and all of a sudden it becomes really easy to start slacking in other parts of your life. I mentioned this in my last day in the life video that I made, but I've been making a big effort this year to try and just get out more.
To be fair, we've been pretty good.
Yes, we have been better about doing it, but overall though, I kind of feel like I've still really been neglecting my health. Now this, unfortunately, is a very common trend with the majority of streamers who are trying to take it seriously, where health overall, just like eating right, exercising, goes on the back burner because we're so heads down focused on just streaming and making content. But that is something that I'm going to try and change throughout the next couple of months. I'm really going to start focusing on improving my health overall, just mostly because I would just want to feel better and have more energy. Being a streamer is one of those careers where the highs are really high, but the lows are really low. One month it will feel like we're on top of the world and our analytics are great from gaining followers and viewership, and then the next month we can bring ourselves to extreme burnout from overworking and low self-esteem if our analytics aren't looking great. But it's times like these where it's often good to take a step back and ask yourself why you even became a streamer in the first place. Ever since I switched back to Twitch a few months ago, I've been really focusing a lot more on just having fun in my streams. For the last year and a half, I mostly streamed Apex and it was fun for a little bit, but it got to the point where it was such a grind where it was definitely sucking the fun out of my streams. And since there really isn't a meta on Twitch right now, I've just been dabbling in a bunch of different games and just been really focusing on making my streams more fun, and I've been doing a lot more just chatting and hanging out with you guys, and everyone seems to be really enjoying it. But for today's stream, I'm gonna go ahead and continue this trend, try out a brand new game that I just saw drop today. It's called Shatterline. I don't really know anything about it. I've seen a few clips and it might be good. Just wrapped up the stream and then I got some dinner with Bronte, but now it's time to get back to work. Typically after I'm done eating dinner, I come back in here and I start editing more TikToks and full-length YouTube videos. One thing that a lot of people don't really know until you start making content and becoming a streamer is you don't actually just sit around and play video games all day. Typically I stream 2 to 3 hours and I really only spend about half of that time playing video games, and outside of that, I honestly don't really have that much time to play video games. I think people have a big misconception when it comes to streamers because they see the people at the top that have full teams surrounding them to where it allows them to stream 10 to 12 hours a day and they're at the top of their category, they have thousands of viewers, and it makes sense for those very, very select few people to stream long hours, but everyone else really shouldn't be streaming more than like 4 hours and a go, because the rest of your time really should be spent focusing on making content for other platforms outside of Twitch. I would honestly say about 90% of the work that I do as a streamer slash content creator is either dedicated to editing videos or just brainstorming ideas of how I can further my content. There's been a lot of talk lately if being a streamer is harder than a regular 9-to-5 job. As someone who has done both for multiple years, I can tell you that the answer isn't as clear as you might think. Being a streamer is one of the hardest things you can do in terms of figuring out how to stand out from the crowd and essentially sell yourself, which often leads to extremely long working hours and self-doubt. On the other hand, having a typical 9-to-5 is much harder day in and day out. Being an employee consists of constant pressure to perform at a high level, and it ends up being so draining since most people really aren't fulfilled by the work that they do. As a streamer, even though I often work over 80 hours a week, I at least love what I do. Being able to stream and make videos that entertain and inspire you guys is truly a dream come true. I genuinely have fun every single day, and I wouldn't trade this for anything in the world.